To understand why we created MRTK, we need to understand a bit about the history of mixed reality content development. Back in 2016, in the original HoloLens 1 days, developers had pretty limited choices for building content. While we're used to using Unity today to easily build immersive XR experiences, Unity didn't have nearly as robust support for these technologies back then. And as a result, it was up to us to build support for devices like HoloLens and Windows mixed reality headsets. We had to build nearly all the tooling, the input functionality, and interaction systems ourselves. And while we were doing so, we realized that there are a common set of problems that every developer runs into when making an app for AR and VR. And so we decided to make a toolkit of solutions to those problems and made it cross-platform to support the entire XR community. And that's how MRTK was born.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria Fedko. I'm a founder of CEO of VAR Studio. And today my lecture is about how to build your business presence in Metaverse through XR technologies. Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm very grateful for this chance to be here with you, my beloved XR community. And thank you for organizing this conference to all the people in the team. Well, let's start with the one thing that I'm not the expert in blockchain, Web3, or Metaverse as a global concept. My expertise lays in AR, VR technologies and everything which is connected to it. And Metaverse, like a word, I know a lot of people don't really like it, but still we already have it. So let's stick to it at this moment of time, and then we will see how it evaluates in future. But what we're gonna talk about today? The first is what is Metaverse, like based on my research and my perspective on that. Also the role of XR technologies in this family of the Metaverse stack, and business use cases of transition to the Metaverse-ready model. We will check different examples of how existing businesses and brands already used it, and where to start if you have this idea of transition to Metaverse, or you want to build AR, VR solutions as a part of that. We're gonna discuss it briefly, and let's start. So the Metaverse, what the heck it is? Well, a lot of people refer to the Web3 when they talk about Metaverse, and in some way I can agree with that. It's kind of the internet evolution, not a revolution, but evolution, like the next stage of internet. Because at the first stage we had the Web 1, where people can only reach internet to read something. Web 2 is what we have at the moment, is when you can reach internet and you can read something, and you can also publish something. So you can create some type of content. And Web 3, it's about decentralization, openness, and more excellent user utility. it's not owned by a single seller, or it's independent virtual economy, and it doesn't have one person or one company or a few major companies who's owning the internet as we have at the moment, right? So it's the next level, and it's about connectivity across the different platforms and the different users. It's about interactions. It's about 3D components. Like it's huge for the metaverse concept as we as an industry see it at the moment, and about the user experience and interaction with this 3D environments, 3D objects, because it's not really even natural for human being to interact with the 2D objects, with the flat screens. We used to it, but if you close your eyes and you imagine something, like if you imagine the I don't know, washing machine or an apple or anything, like you will imagine it in 3D, because this is how our imaginarium works. This is how our brain works. We always imagine things in 3D. So 2D is kind of good to have, but still we're moving towards this 3D dimension in our interactions, experiences, content, and so on and so forth. So this is in a nutshell. I'm sure some of you should have a lot of different opinions on this, but I don't want to kind of dig deep in here. So this is the high level overview and how a lot of different specialists define the metaverse and the Web3 for themselves. From my perspective, Metaverse has three core components, and the first one is AI. It includes the machine learning, natural language learning, IoT, machine vision, and everything connected to it. The second component is blockchain, because we need to have the decentralized system, right? So it's about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, smart contracts, decentralized autonomous organizations. And again, when it's decentralized and when no one owns the whole internet or the whole metaverse as it is. So to make it happen, we really need blockchain. And the third component, the last but not the least, is, or the least but not the last. Okay, sorry. So it's AR/VR technologies. It's the visual component. It's about virtual shared spaces, simulations, augmented physical worlds, 3D environments, 3D content. It's about interaction with this metaverse through the visual component. And AR/VR technologies are specifically for visualization, interactions, and experiences that you can live through in the metaverse somewhere in the future. But right now, it's just the multiverses all around us. So let's go next. The AR and VR, as I said, it's a lot about the visual and experience components. I would say that AR and VR technologies, as they are at the moment, and I'm pretty excited to see what will be in the next 5 to 10 years, and how they gonna help this phenomenon of metaverse to manifest itself, because it needs some form and it needs some visual representation, and this is how you can use AR and VR technologies today and in the next few years, I'm sure. Also, it is a lot about the connectivity and social component inside of the metaverse, because this is how people can interact with each other and communicate with each other in the shared spaces, seeing each other as avatars or holograms or volumetric videos, doesn't matter. So this is in a nutshell about the metaverse, and I would really love to paying attention to this saying of Confucius. He said, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. So experience is a key to everything. And you can do, you can interact, you can experience, you can live through on totally different level with the help of AR, VR technologies, because it is highly immersive, it is engaging, it simulates a lot of our experiences from the real life. And this is how you can make people understand your story about your brand, about your values, your products, your services, if we're talking about business here, right? Your, I don't know, like your policies, your culture, anything. When you create a story in augmented or virtual reality, you create this user experience and you let people live through it. This is how you can create this emotional connection between your brand, your company, and the end customer. It doesn't matter, is it your employee or is it your partner, client, or your customer? The emotional connection rocks, and this is how you create very valuable relationships with the end customers and the loyalty. So that's a little bit of philosophy in here. Let's go next. The business use cases of the metaverse for enterprise, for corporates, for businesses, how you can use it, like very exact things in here. I'm sorry about this text slide, but still we're limited in time. So let's make it. The first one is a future of e-commerce and shopping. It speed ups the sales cycle. So it's not a secret that you can use augmented and virtual reality and this presence in Metaverse for your e-commerce and shopping businesses, because you can visualize your product in 3D. You can make people try it on, try it in their environment and on themselves. You can give them this chance without going anywhere and without returning product all the time because it doesn't fit or there is some issue with the color or something. When they see this product in real sizes, in their environments, on themselves, on avatars, somewhere in the virtual environment, this really speeds up the sales cycle and helps you boost the sales and brand awareness. Then you can use XR technologies in Metaverse for the hybrid meeting experience. You can have the immersive Zoom or Google Meet, right? Because right now we're looking at each other through the flat screen. But again, when you are in the 3D environment, when you can see your colleagues as avatars or video streaming or anything, like you can have this feeling of presence and you will have a total different experience of communication with them, doing some brainstorms, I don't know, or something like that. You can also run highly engaging conferences, events, and presentations. And we have several clients right now who are looking for a solution to make their presentations to their clients more engaging, more fun and interesting. And in this case, it's cool to use AR, VR technologies or some of the Metaverse platforms for running those meetings and events. You can also use it as one of the channels for your marketing funnel. When you build your marketing strategy, you know where is your target audience and you know what types of channels you use for that. So it might be the additional channel for communication with the young generations, for example, who are seen in Decentraland or Roblox, or you can create your own channel and you can invite your existing clients and partners and your network to it. So you can also integrate it with your loyalty program, CRM, or ERP, or any other tool that you're already using. And you can really kind of integrate it into your ecosystem of different tools. In this way, it will be connected and it can communicate with each other, and you can find much more value from it when it works all together. You can use gamification to boost engagement. This is my favorite one of, I really love gamification things and experiences because they make this experience fun. They add this flavor of, I don't know, like happiness, you know, and when people live through your story with joy and happiness and they are engaged with this gamification, that creates a very positive emotional connection. and it helps people build this loyalty with your brand, and get more immersed with this story. You can also use like some simple games. They still will work because it's about interaction, and no matter what, people got excited about games, and even some simple steps in there. It doesn't matter. A way to increase retention and conversion rates, you can also use AR/VR for it. It is connected to the shopping and e-commerce experiences as well, because as it speed ups the sales cycle, it can help you increase the conversion rate. And about the retention rate, if you have this ongoing communication with your end customer through AR and VR, you can update your content, you can add some gamifications to it, you can add some new experiences to it to keep people engaged with your brand, with your experience in Metaverse and AR, VR applications. And this is how you can keep them warm all the time, and you can really boost this retention rate all the time. Well, you can also enhance your HR brand and HR processes like onboarding and training and education of your employees, because virtual reality is already proven like it's super effective for training and education. You can also connect it to some hardware simulator if you need that, and like most of the companies, they already have their like curriculum and the training scenario written somewhere in the document as a text. But you can take this script, you can take this training step-by-step instruction, and you can recreate that in virtual reality with the simulation of the workplace or some high-risk situation. And it doesn't matter if you want to train the soft skills or hard skills, you can do both. You can also engage with the new audience and young generations through the metaverse, because they are searching around different experiences, looking for different games. They are exploring right now, and this is the moment you can create this connection with them, and you can be there where they are, and you can speak in their language, and you can be present in those experiences, and you can be present in those environments where they are. So that's a golden moment for you guys. You can also use the XR technologies and the metaverse for a digital twin of facilities, production, some machinery. You can test and validate different ideas. You can see how you can improve the processes. You can parse and visualize the data in real time. So there are a lot of approaches how you can use that, but the digital twin and its visualization in AR, VR technologies is super cool. I love this concept, and we're already working on some of that. So that's an interesting topic, and we would need another lecture for that. You can also grow brand advocates while playing with your content in the metaverse. So we already touched this topic. And the last, but not the least, is track and analyze the data. I always mention that on all of my lectures, because sometimes companies are so focused on the experience that they forget about the data and to analyze it, because this is how you get your insights on how it works. What is the user experience? What are the numbers from the every user session and then in overall? And this is how you can make your future business decision based on these insights, and you can understand how you should polish this application, for example, or what type of experiences is most popular and why. And you can also analyze the user behavior, different patterns, what influences their behavior in AR, VR experience you've created, with which type of content they interacted more or less, why. And again, like, you can start over and you can validate different ideas. So this is in a nutshell. And the next thing, I would love to share a few examples. Like this is the example from Microsoft. Oops, sorry. Yeah, let's go back. This is the example from Microsoft Teams. They created the Mesh. It's a digital overlay that enables the presence and shared experience through mixed reality apps. This is the example from Balenciaga. They integrated high fashion skins for avatars and Balenciaga themed hub in Fortnite. This is the example from Coca-Cola. I love this case. It's super cool. They created the virtual wearables as NFTs containing digital apparel that can be worn in virtual world of Decentraland. Like, where is Coca-Cola, where is fashion, where is Decentraland? And they combine all of those components together, and as a result, they have an amazing project. The Gucci, oh, it's very beautiful. Go Google it and take a look at the videos. They created the Gucci Garden in Roblox, a unique and interactive virtual exhibition. Then the Honda. This is the example of building this connection with the young generations in the metaverse. This is that very golden moment that I mentioned. They created the Mobility Adventure. It is a metaverse space on Roblox featuring the Honda Motors products and future mobility solutions. They targeted specifically at young consumers to nurture the long-lasting relationships with fans and with the future customers of them. So this is the few examples that I had. For sure, if you go Google, you will find a lot more there. And the question that we have in this lecture is where to start with your transition to the metaverse, or let's say not specifically the metaverse, right? But you can already explore, you can already create and validate, and in some time, like 10, 20 years, I don't know how much it will take humanity to come to that metaverse format. You will already have some experience. You will be one of the first who've been there. And right now, I see the trend that a lot of businesses are validating and exploring and trying their best scenarios and how they can enter this verse, this reality. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, where does it hurt? It's always like that. You have a problem, you need a solution. I know it's very general and standard, but still, even when we talk about AR, VR, you still have to have that in your mind, and that's the first place to start with. You have problems with sales, with marketing, with communication, with training your employees, or you're launching a new product and you need something interactable to communicate it to your target audience. Like, find the problem, and then you can come up with the solution using AR and VR technologies. And if you can't, you can always contact the companies who are experts in that. Then analyze your infrastructure, fill the holes, see what do you already have. Like, okay, I have, I don't know, like database with the products, I have website, I have mobile app, and see where is this space for AR and VR. For example, you can create the AR module and integrate into your existing application, or you can create a web AR and put it on your website, or you can create a virtual reality application and publish it somewhere on the stores and be present in this virtual reality with your brand, with your experience. And then don't forget to connect all of those pieces together, having one strategy for it. Get familiar with the platforms, software, hardware, use cases. Go Google, educate yourself, because you have to understand the difference, at least between AR and VR, or what is Decentraland, what is Roblox, what are the functions in there, how you can use it, how other brands are already using it. So do your homework, and like, it's your business, right? And it really makes sense for you to learn a little bit about the metaverse and technologies on the market. There are a lot of different resources. Then try the waters. That's my suggestion. I always suggest that to our clients, Start with something simple, go test it. Have a focus group, have some target audience for it, your internal testing with your employees and different departments. Develop something simple like a pilot project. Test it out, see the feedback, analyze it, and then polish this idea and go into the next stage. This is how you can invest with the less risks, and you can already try it out and see how it feels, how it looks, how you can interact with it. And then your imagination will start working even much more in that place, because you will already experience that tool and you will understand how to put it in the right angle to fit it perfectly. Then experience is a king. Think through the user experience before you go into the development. Please, I beg you. Like, think what are the step-by-step actions that will be happening with your user, what is possible for them, what is not, what are the interactions, what should be the logics, and so on and so forth. Like, think through it. Take your time. It's better to plan it properly before you go into the development and launching the project. Then know your audience. I'm sure all of us, you know your audience, you know your customers, but really you have to understand who are the people that will use your AR, VR, Metaverse applications. Where are they? What is the internet connection? Are they sitting or standing? Are they outside or inside? Are they at home or somewhere in the office? Like, what are the general circumstances in which people gonna use your application? And that will influence dramatically on the user experience and on the script you're gonna create and agree on. And develop the strategy and integrate it properly. As I said, you cannot just develop the XR application, or you cannot just publish somewhere in Decentraland and that's it, like it's done, you know, like I did it, it should work. No, you have to have a strategy for it, and you have to properly integrate it into your marketing strategy or go-to-market strategy or communication strategy, and so on and so forth. I don't know which type of strategies they have, but still. And the last thing in my list is align physical and digital. That means that you already have some physical assets. I don't know, maybe some facilities, maybe showrooms, maybe some physical products. Align it with the digital components that you already have. Try to do these combinations and see how they can enhance the experience altogether. For example, you can create the virtual reality app and your users can use that in home, but they can also come to your showroom and you can give them virtual reality and they can live through some story in there. That is also type of experience you can have, but in the showroom or in store or in office, it depends. So just take a look at that and try to see some of the potential connections between the physical and digital assets you have. So this is it. Like, I have a lot of other suggestions, but still, I think that I'm gonna finish this lecture at this moment, but I would love to stay in touch with you guys. If you have any questions or suggestions or ideas, just let me know. You can find all my contacts in here, and I'm always happy to get connected on LinkedIn. So please feel free to reach out, and I would love to have a conversation. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.